Just another beautiful day in Colorado. So today I'm going to be targeting pike again, but I talked to some of my friends and they suggested some different spots that I should try out. So I'm going to be trying some new spots and hopefully I can bag a pike. These toothy, torpedo-shaped predators are full of fight, and when they're in spawn mode, they get downright aggressive. If you're looking for an exciting way to spend a spring day outdoors, chasing pike with big spoons should be high on your list. Spring is prime time for pike fishing here in Colorado. As the ice melts and water temps creep up to the mid 40s to low 50s, pike make their move into shallow, weedy bays and river inlets to spawn. These spots become hot spots, literally and figuratively, teeming with pike either preparing to spawn or guarding their territory. That's where the magic happens. Let's talk gear. So you can finesse fish these guys, but that's not really the vibe. When I go out for pike this time of year, I'm reaching for the heavy artillery. Big flashy spoons, think daredevils, Johnson silver minnows, or any of those oversized slabs of metal that look like they belong on a medieval suit of armor. Pike aren't picky during the spawn, they're territorial, pissed off, and ready to smash anything that invades their space. A large spoon ripping through the shallows, that's like waving a red flag at a bull. The beauty of spoon fishing is its simplicity. Cast, let it flutter a bit, and retrieve with a few pauses or twitches here and there. Sometimes a straight, slow roll works best. Other times I'll rip it fast and erratic just to trigger that reaction bite. You'll know when it hits, the rod loads up, and suddenly it feels like you've hooked a log, until the log starts pulling back. One thing to remember if you're not using braided fishing line is to bring a steel leader. Pike teeth are no joke, and I've seen them slice through mono like warm butter. Also, a good set of long pliers is your best friend, since these fish are wild-eyed, thrashing lunatics once in the net, and trying to get your lure back can be a bit of a wrestling match. Some great places to try in Colorado include 11 Mile Reservoir, Spinney Mountain, and Williams Fork. These waters hold some absolute tanks, and during spawn, they're shallow, visible, and just waiting for something shiny to tick them off. So, first off, the mountain reservoir didn't even exist until the 1980s. Before that, it was just rolling prairie, shaped by ancient seas and full of marine shale, from way back in the Cretaceous period. You're standing in what was once an ocean floor, casting into what is now one of the state's most famous fisheries. Kind of wild to think about. In the late 1800s, the Colorado Midland Railroad ran right through this area, hauling supplies, people, and ore across the state. That railroad shut down in 1918, but you can still trace parts of its old route through the nearby 11 Mile Canyon. These days, instead of steam engines, it's drift boats and fly rods making their way through the valley. The reservoir itself was finally completed and opened to the public in 1987. The city of Aurora owns the reservoir and uses it for water storage, but the state leases it as a state park. That's why it's got that weird setup where it opens late in the season and has specific fishing hours. It's a bit of a ritual. The morning the park opens, trucks line up before sunrise, everyone hoping to be the first to cast into fresh spring water. The reservoir is loaded with rainbows, and not just dinky stalkers either. These fish are thick, powerful, and often wild looking thanks to strong genetics from good hatchery management and a rich diet in the lake. Some push well past 20 inches and they fight like they've got somewhere to be. Whether you're tossing streamers, stripping leeches, or drifting chironomids under an indicator, rainbows are usually first to show up. The moodiest fish in the lake, the brown trout, can be elusive, but when you find them, they're usually bigger, meaner, and smarter than their rainbow cousins. Fall is their time to shine. Watch for those copper colored brutes moving into shallower water to spawn. A big brown on a streamer here will test your knots, your netting skills, and maybe your patience. There's also a solid population of cutbow trout, which are exactly what they sound like, a hybrid of a cutthroat and a rainbow. They're like the best of both worlds, colorful, scrappy, and often willing to take a fly or lure. These fish aren't just pretty, they're strong, and they help round out the trout trifecta that makes this place such a draw for anglers. Every once in a while, you might hook into a perch or a white sucker. While going after a trout, they're not the main event, but they're in there, hanging out, doing their thing. Some folks actually target perch through the ice, but they mostly serve as an all-you-can-eat buffet for the pike. So at this point, I've already had a couple of torpedo-looking fish swim up to my lure, which I believe those are pike, but I think they might be too small to take the lure. So I'm just waiting on the big one to show up. The reservoir's underwater ecosystem is a big reason why the fishing is so legendary. It all starts with the basics: water quality and structure. Spinney has cold, clean, well oxygenated water for most of the year. That's trout paradise, but it also has enough shallow, weedy bays and rocky bottom structure to make it appealing to predators like northern pike. Basically, it's a buffet with something for everyone. Let's start small, real small. The food chain at the reservoir kicks off with plankton. Tiny, drifting critters like zooplankton and phytoplankton float around feeding off sunlight and nutrients. These microscopic dudes are the base of everything. Next up is all of the aquatic insects. We're talking chironomids, those tiny little midges fly anglers obsess over, mayfly and caddis larvae, and damselflies and dragonflies. If it wriggles in the water, it probably lives here. These bugs live in the mud, cling to rocks, and hatch all spring and summer long. Trout absolutely gorge on them. I did end up catching a 30-inch rainbow trout, but he ended up snapping my line, so right now I'm trying to pull the hook out of his face. And I did get the hook out of his face, so he's going to swim off now. I really wish I had my net to net him, but I left it on the rocks somewhere. Aquatic plants in the reservoir serve multiple ecological functions. They stabilize sediments, reducing erosion and maintaining water clarity. Additionally, these plants act as natural filters, absorbing excess nutrients and pollutants, thereby enhancing the water quality. Their presence also provides essential habitats for spawning fish and refuge for juvenile species, contributing to the overall biodiversity of the reservoir. So I'm going to try a different location. I haven't had any luck with catching pike this pike fishing season. The season is going to be coming to an end soon, and probably in the next 2 weeks I'll be out turkey hunting, so that's going to be really fun. I'll see you guys next time.